Was that not hilarious? Welcome to the Bleaves Crypto Show. My name is Bleaves. By the way, I've got one of those hydraulic tables that rises and lowers, which is why I stand every day. I thought it was good and healthy for the body, and why not do it? You know what I mean? So, guys, and by the way, for those of you that are coming in late, it's my bad. I had a lot to do last night and just absolutely spaced on getting this set up. I've been busy in the evenings, every evening, busy sleeping, I guess. But, you know, so let's figure out what's going on in the cryptocurrency world. Right now, we're getting a nice run. We're having a nice little recovery. And the question right now is, are we getting a December pump? Are we going to get a small relief rally before the next leg down or before the explosive move that's getting ready to happen? By the way, the reason that we're starting to see that movement appears to be that inflation, which was expected to be 3%, is down to 2.6. Now, guys, if you've been watching, look, there's a few things that you know about me, for sure. One of them is I'm not a fan of Donald Trump. Number two, I am a fan of tariffs. And number three, that I've been watching gas prices because I believe that gas prices are going to be the predicator on whether or not inflation is going to come down. Now, no matter what the quote-unquote experts are saying, it is my belief that that is the big motivator, right? Gas prices mean that's transportation costs, which means that when transportation costs are down, that's lower prices at the store. That's everything that you need to be positive with. That's how this works. It's very, very simple. And it gets overcomplicated sometimes. But again, I try to keep it as simple as possible. Also, I want to thank everybody from the dev community who's been reaching out to me. We're going to talk about that in just a moment as well. So strap in, strap on. Look, you do whatever you do. And it's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleaves. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's going to be very, very interesting. Let's start off with, and by the way, I'm going to ask you for a little bit of help. I'm going to show you some of the behind the scene process today because there's only really a little bit of news, and then we're going to talk about charts and then we're going to figure out what's going on. Okay. So make sure that you hit the like button on the way in. Good morning to Jordan's Tool Belt. Good morning to DGen Brian, Vader Prime. Good morning. Latama. Good morning. Latama has a project here that we're gonna look into. I'm not in on this one yet, but I've been kind of looking at what's going on, and you know, maybe this is an opportunity for people. I'm gonna ask you to do your own research on it because I haven't done any research on it. However, since I'm talking about, and since there's something ironically that I was going to show you, I think it kind of ties in a little bit together. So we're certainly going to check it out. Good morning to Mark. Derek Hine, good morning. December Crack Rocks. Washington Heights veteran, good morning. DJ and Brian, again, strap on. Oof. Hey, man, you do what you do. Roy G, what's going on? Daniel Delgado, did you get out and then back in on Dev? No, I didn't get out at all. I wasn't. Let's talk about Dev since that is going to be one of the pressing things right now. I am not out on it at all. In fact, look, there was a possibility of maybe some kind of there was a possibility of some kind of accumulation opportunity or something like that, maybe, that I could do. But I wasn't feeling it. Listen, the way I see things going is the moment I sell, the thing's going to explode. So I'm not touching my bag. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to hold on to it and believe in the best. So, I don't have any moves to make. Maybe I'll change my mind about that at some point, but, here's what happened. For those of you that haven't been paying attention, big Q4 milestones. Listen, this is a lot of fluff where they're talking about the things that have happened so far, and then the partnership with Covey, which was like they're one of those marketing companies that just kind of came along. They know who the partners are. They know some of these banks, some of these lending institutions that DevvE has recently partnered with. They know who they don't know who the major partner is, but they were able to figure it out from the description. So what happened is they're not going to have, they can't announce the partnership until they get the CASP and the VASP licensing, and that's taking longer than they expected. So there's some other pieces, which are market downturn, slower institutional timelines, and delayed funding from DevStream that affected pacing. Now, what does all of that mean? Market downturn wasn't a great sign. That's why and by the way, market downturn is not why they're not making an announcement. That's just why the price is down. And then slower institutional timelines. And what does that mean? Well, that means that the institution will not allow them to do anything until they get CASP and VASP licensing. So custody partnerships expected after approvals early 2026. So, and then in the meantime, the lending and borrowing public demo is going to be available in January of 2026. Now, it was available for some internal people. You can actually see it. And some of us have kind of seen it and know what's going on there, but it's under tight wraps until January of 2026. Okay. Now, the last piece was delayed funding from DevStream affecting pacing. Now, here's where that got interesting. DevStream committed $1 million and then 1.2 million, I think, in 2026 and 1.2 million in 2027 in order to buy to buy Dev tokens or coins in 2026 and 27. And DevStream has been backing out of the deal, which means that the capital funding that the DYOR expected to get from DevStream is not materializing, and they were giving reasons and stuff like that. And basically, the carbon credit market has been crashing, and that's what's going on with DevStream. Now, DevStream, ironically, despite having the same name, doesn't have anything to do with DYOR. There are two separate companies. One is a crypto company, the other one, and Tom and Ray and all of these guys, they have nothing to do with DevStream. It just happened to be another initiative that was kind of a side thing, but it didn't have anything to do with them. So they're not gonna, it looks like that's not going to happen. They're not going to sell those tokens to them. They're going to sell them to somebody else. And that's where Covey kind of came in. So that's where they are in terms of that. Now, do they need funding? Well, there's plenty of different opportunities for funding. Canton raised $135 million and is now a $1 billion company during the same time. So there's plenty of money out there. The money portion is not something that they are worried about. If you have any question about that, you can go watch the video from DevvE with Ray Quintana. That's available for you on the official DevvE channel. The only thing that you have to do is go into YouTube, type in DevvE, and then just click on like the DevvE ecosystem and go look at it. But you can see they're up at the top. That's Ray and Austin, and they're talking about a lot of things that were going on. Now, the reason that this started off the way that it did, the reason, and by the way, I challenge anybody to go watch this video and listen to the very beginning and tell me that you're not hearing, hey, dirty, baby, I got your money, don't you worry. You give me your number, I call you up. I can't say the rest of it because I'm not allowed. So anyway, when you get to the chapter portion, you saw the update on announcements and stuff like that. And the update on the announcement was it's going to be delayed for a little bit of time because they didn't get the CASP and VAS licensing done yet. Remember, the government, there's government shutdowns, there's problems that have been going on. So it's taking a little bit longer, right? Now, where's the development timeline at? This is where you listen. This is where you start paying attention. Where's the development timeline at? Development timeline, they're ready to go. Everything is ready. They've got it. Every Monday they have a meeting where they all sit in and they figure out what's going on, and they're just have a litany and a pile of everything being done. So then you've got a demo that's coming out of the borrowing and lending platform, which is going to be released in January. And by the way, they're going to move this stuff forward. They're going to push this stuff out to you because we've had some discussions yesterday, and Tom Anderson, to his credit, got into the chat. He took all of the heat. He stood there and he let people say what they had to say. He responded accordingly. He was deliberate. He was very nice about everything. And basically, what's going on is so many here's what's going on, to be fair, all right? I'm not an insider. I don't know exactly all of the ins and outs. All I can go on is what Ray and Tom are saying. Now, if you have any question about this, go look up Ray, go look up Tom, and go see what their history is, who they are. Go check their character. That's your litmus test. Go check and see, do you think they are the right people? Okay, I mean, that's basically it. And if you do, then we're good to go. If not, then sell, walk away. You're okay. I mean, it'll be okay. If you take a loss, I'm sorry. If you made some money, you're welcome. You know what I mean? If you didn't sell when the price was pumping, when I told you, none of it's my fault. None of it's my fault, right? Now, I'll tell you this. Yesterday, during the course of everything, I made amends with Phil, and I want to thank Phil because he and I had a conversation yesterday and talked it out. Tom and I had a conversation and talked it out. There were a lot of different things. Now, I'll tell you guys this: a lot of people, my messages have been blowing up for 24 hours now from people who wanted to get some reassurance. They wanted to know what was going on. They wanted to figure out what's happening there and, how it all fits together and how it all fits in and blah, 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 blah. And listen, I'm incredibly bullish and I stay bullish. I don't like the fact that the timeline got pushed down the road. But when you go listen to that video, which we go back to right now, when you listen to that video, it didn't get pushed out forever. It got pushed out for a very short period of time. It could happen anywhere between 30 and 60 days is what it was kind of looking like right now. They're just waiting for that licensing. Now, in the meantime, what ended up happening is there's a lot of small and mid-sized banks, not even European banks, but American banks that are now coming to the table for DevvE. And by the way, remember, the DevvE exchange is going to be a worldwide exchange. So, and the DevvE exchange, so just for clarity's sake here, let me get back into this. The DevvE exchange, for anybody who doesn't understand, is not necessarily a crypto exchange. Crypto is one of the assets, but it's the tokenization of gold and silver and all of the stocks and bonds in the world. Okay, that's what the DevvE exchange is. This is a massive undertaking, and they're in the final stages. And when you have a partner, a massive partnership, then there's gonna be delays because they don't want IPs to get stolen. They don't want trade secrets exposed. So everything's going to happen very, very quickly and very, very rapidly when it's too late for somebody to steal ideas. Now, let me just tell you that it is my opinion that DevvE right now is facing what they consider to be they're not first to market. They are first to market with their technology of the only thing that makes sense, okay? Number one, instantaneous settlement. In order for RWAs to be traded, in order for gold, silver, and all of these things to be traded, you have to have instantaneous settlement. Remember that none of this stuff happens just like that, okay? But it has to for like stocks and bonds. That's been the problem. And then, just in case there's fraud, you have to have privacy, or you have to have security protection. DevvE is the only thing that has those two things right now. So they're feeling the pressure to announce it, but the only place that they feel pressure is the place where they take heat, and that's the crypto bros. The institutions, they don't care. They're good, because what they know is that they've got a great technology. They've got a great foothold into what everybody is going to want to do. And here's the thing. You're not going to use Coinbase and Base. You're not going to use Binance. You're not going to use all of these different places for your RWAs, because they don't do instantaneous settlement. Where you want trading happening is instantaneous settlement, which means that you can do fractional micro trading. And remember, this is one of the big things in RWAs, fractional micro trading, things like that. You've got computer algorithms that are trading margins, and they need those settlements to be immediate. They need them to be immediate, and that's what they're going to get. So they're feeling the pressure of, Coinbase making an announcement, and Canton coming in and making an announcement. They've got all these different things where all these guys are talking about an XRP merging in with Swift, which is, we'll talk about that at some point. But until we know something specific, until we're, kind of a little bit further down the road, if you will, then they're not really going to reveal anything. And I mean, there's nothing I can do about it, by the way. Nothing I can do about it. Maddie B says, partnership have never proof. I don't know. Right. When you have a partnership that you can't announce, you can't announce it. When you can't announce it, you don't know who it is. And by the way, if that for you is a deal breaker because you think you should be an insider because you're in crypto and you think you're entitled to insider secrets or something, go find another project. It's okay. You don't have to be in the same crypto as I'm in. You don't have to be in the same crypto as smart people are in. You can go buy some meme coins and, lose all your money. Aren't you doing that already? And by the way, don't forget that when I was talking about DevvE was 13 cents. So people looking at it today saying, oh my God, it's down. If you didn't buy it when I told you, my bad. One more commercial and I'm done. I don't know I don't think I control commercials. So I don't know what's going on with commercials. But I'll look into it. Nonetheless, I digress. So here's the thing. Ultimately, Ray is super excited about what's going on. Doesn't have a problem. Tom is a little more, because Tom went into chat and had to take all the bullets from people. So Tom was a little bit like, Jesus Christ, I mean, you guys are crying about like there's, we can't do anything until we get the clearance that we need in order to do something. But you're going to get some demonstrations. And by the way, let me go back one more time before I move on and say to someone like Maddie B, to any people who are wondering, you can go to dev.com. Matter of fact, let's do that right now. If I could spell the goddamn thing correctly, gosh darn thing correctly. Why would I say that? Oh my God. By the way, MJF is back in AEW. I saw that last night. Anyway, you can go to dev.com, and then from here, do you know what you can do? You can go and you can test the blockchain. I'm sorry, what? You can go and you can test the blockchain, and you can see whether or not there's 0-time settlements, any of that. You can go test it right now. And here's the documents. All you have to do is go there. You can read the white paper. And by the way, if you can't program and you can't create your own dApp because you have no idea how to do it, and you just like, nah, you're a monkey like me who just has no ability to program or anything like that, guess what? Grok will do it for you. All you have to do is follow the instructions. And by the way, you don't even have to follow the instructions. All you have to do is import the instructions into Grok, and Grok will do it for you. And if you don't like Grok because you don't like Elon Musk like me, use ChatGPT. If you don't like ChatGPT because you don't like Sam Altman-Fried, I know it's not him, but Sam, you don't like Sam, no problem. Go to Gemini. If you don't like Google, I don't know what to tell you, man. You're really getting nitpicky and choosy and stuff like that. So You can go check it out, and you can do whatever you want to do on the dev testnet right now to validate what it is that you think or don't think. And if it doesn't give you 0-time settlement, move on. You're cool. So it's okay. We don't have to be in the same project. Again, we don't have to be. So the proof, like everybody says, well, the proof is in the pudding. There's no proof. Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. It's live right now. You can go test it for yourself and see whether or not this stuff is happening. And by the way, how do you do that? Create a dApp that tests it for you. Ta-da! The problem is solved. It's solved. And then while you're there, make an app or make a dApp that tells people how great Believes is. The whole effing show, right? Shout out, by the way, to Rob Van Dam. Nobody should have to go through what they're going through right now. So thoughts and prayers are with Rob Van Dam and Kate. Damn. You know what I mean? Damn. So anyway, that's where we are. And as you go down, there's a lot to unpack on the dev announcement, by the way. But none of it is like, oh, it's going to be forever and oh, my bad or anything like that. Not only that, but Ray in the video was like, look, we work with the partner every day. The partner tells us everything that they need. Like we are literally working in lockstep with them at a level that it's like 2 major Fortune 500 companies. The only problem with that is we're just a startup. We're just a startup trying to get there. And they are just this gigantic institution, but they are treating us like a peer and they are making all this stuff happen. And, you know, it'll happen when they're ready for it to happen. So, you know what I mean? We'll see what happens. Look, if you're out on it, it's okay. It is absolutely okay. Now back into chat. We got Maddie saying chart is a wreck. Again, look. If you're buying tops, oh, by the way, the reason that Chainlink is up is because I'm making Chainlink content now. And my first video is coming out later on today. I was working on that. I'm going to show you in just a minute. But going down the list here to Dev, trading at about 23 cents right now. This is the sell-off that happened, by the way. And here's where I'm encouraged. And I'm not saying that you should be encouraged the same way, okay? Here is what happened yesterday with Dev, okay? This is a daily chart, by the way. So you see there was a dip, right? That dip happened on every single crypto. The only difference is Bitcoin is ripping because it's up $63 billion today. Ethereum, the same thing. Like it was all dipping. Everything was dipping yesterday. Everything was going down. I think that kind of masked some of the issue with Dev. And I also want to say this. Part of the reason that Dev was dipping as much as it was was because Ethereum was also in a big ass red candle. So, and it's not making an excuse. I mean, obviously, I wanted them to make the announcement when it was time to make the announcement or when they said they made the announcement. And I expressed I told them exactly what I thought, okay? I told them, I talked to Tom, I talked to everybody. I explained exactly how I feel. And, but here the other part is this. Ethereum is starting to bounce back. And if Ethereum bounces back, and if we see Ethereum start to rip and over the next couple days recover, if we get a little Christmas recovery or a little, Christmas bonus gift, whatever you call it, and Ethereum runs back up to that 35, 36, 37 level, guess what? The Dev price will go along with it because that's the pairing. So if Ethereum goes up, 20% in the next 3 or 4 days, then the Dev price will go up 10%. Now, that that doesn't mean it will just go up. It means, of course, there's buying and selling and trading. But if there's more buyers than sellers in total volume, then the price will appreciate just like Ethereum is appreciating. So I'm encouraged. Then, by the way, even if I'm discouraged, I'm just going to buy more if it goes down. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason to not take an opportunity. And as a matter of fact, my friend Matt Glinsky, a buddy of mine, he just flipped at, I think he said 26 cents yesterday. When it was at 26 cents yesterday, he sold and then he bought it back in at 20 cents and he added a couple thousand more to his bag. So, I mean, that's what people are doing right now. So opportunity is opportunity. So let's get into the news now, though. Crypto market was bracing for volatility for the US CPI data and what to expect. Now, there was a lot of information. Consensus forecasts put both headlines and core CPI at 3.1. That's what we were being told, that, you know, expect to have just a bad number today that says a lot of like scary stuff. And guess what? November CPI released, core CPI 2.6 versus an estimate of 3. Massive 0.4% under 4 BPS undershoot. Inflation falling like a rock. Okay, what does that mean for the markets? Well, it should mean for the markets a very positive day. What's going on with the Dow Jones? Up 325 points. And guess what? Jane Street is on the clock. You know what I'm talking about? They're on the, you know, the big thing that they stuck up there, you know, they're on the clock. The clock. I meant clock. Jane Street is on the clock, and guess what? The market is not dumping. Now, here's the 1 hour for confirmation of that. There's your early Jane Street, and look how aggressively it got bought back very, very quickly. This was your Jane Street yesterday, okay? This was your 9 a.m. Jane Street moment. This is your 9 a.m. Jane Street moment right now, okay? So things have changed and things have shifted, and now people are starting to see, hey, 2.6 inflation, that is a great sign. That means rate cut. Soft labor market, that is a great sign. That means rate cut. Now people are like, you know what? Whatever I have right now, it's time to lock in. Maybe. Not sure, but maybe. That means it's time to get ready and get going. Make sure, by the way, that you hit that like button on the way in. Okay? Because you know what happens to the frogs. Alex Jones told you that. So we'll see what happens as the day goes on. We're going to move on from CPI right now. That's important data, but we got to move. Aster Stage 5 airdrop is going to go live on December 22nd. So what's going to happen for Aster? Now, by the way, if you don't remember, Aster is what Jake Gagan told you was going to hit $10. And it's at 70 cents. I don't know what to tell you if that happened. I've told you all along, I am not bullish on Aster because I think it was already priced in. Doesn't mean that I won't be bullish on it in the longer term, but I mean, guys, we've been looking at the Aster chart and I've been telling you it's not going to pump. And guess what? It's not pumping. So there is a point where accumulation will cause it to start pumping. But here's the thing. The airdrop on December 22nd is going to lead to a massive sell-off. And you have to look no further than what happens every year with Jupiter. Okay? Every year with Jupiter, the same thing happens. Now, they've got a high valuation, but more tokens are entering the market. And that's not optimal. Okay? Until all of this is done, which, by the way, it's a great mechanism, but until all of it's done, I would not consider Aster to be a noteworthy investment unless you're doing a quick flip. And by the way, I would not do a quick flip right now because in 4 days, there's going to be a lot of people selling. Because remember, if you just traded on it, you made money. So now you're going to get an airdrop. And now you're going to get an airdrop. And then those people, they're going to take that money. It's Christmas time. They're going to take their money. All right, so now let's move on here and let's talk about what I was doing because I got all messed up. So I want to give you guys a look at the background. So what I've got today is real world assets are about to explode. Chainlink is leading it. All right, so that's what it's going to be. And that was my high rated thing right there. And I'm going to make a thumbnail, right? So in order for me to make a thumbnail, I didn't do it enough early. So I'm going to pull this up for you so that you can see some of that process right there. We're going to put a new project in on Wondershare, Filmora, which is how I do my editing. And the video is ready to go. It's only 3 minutes long, by the way, so make sure you watch it today because if you don't, you're an asshole. But we're going to do this. I'm going to find an image here where I want to find a spot right there. Don't want that. There we go. That might be a silly picture, but no, I don't like that. All right, we're not going to do that. We're going to remove that. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over to Grok. And I have a thumbnail optimization. By the way, I make the thumbnail optimizer. Call me Big Dog. All right, so there we go. So we're not going to take that one. We're going to pick another one. Let me pick another headshot. You guys are going to see where the crazy magic happens. All right, so we're going to pop that in. Okay. Okay, now do this one using the same parameters as last one for chain link. Just use link. Now let's see what happens here. And what it's doing is it should anyway create a couple thumbnails for me to choose from. And sometimes it takes a moment because Elon Musk, despite telling you that everything is recoded to the greatest of blah 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 blah. Like Jesus fucking Christ, look at that. This is what it gave me. This is grok, okay? All right. Create a thumbnail from this image for link. And I guess I should spell thumbnail so he doesn't turn me into an Asian woman. Jesus fucking Christ. Bull Run Rich is asking, what about the Japanese rate hikes? Will that cause some... Okay. Come on. Come on, Big Dog. You can do better. Make it exciting. By the way, we call each other Big Dog. Now, it might not do anything, by the way, when it does this. Oh, now it's executing. Ah, Jesus fucking Christ. I don't even know what's going on here. All right, wait. These are not exciting, Big Dog. Excite me with the thumbnail. It's reviewing it, by the way. It gave me a 96 out of 100 and said that this is going to be awesome. Look, 98. Gave me a 98, but it gave me a 96 on the last one. Let's redo it. These are not exciting, Big Dog. Like, it's difficult sometimes with grok, because grok, like, you try to speak to it, and just every once in a while you're getting like, Jesus fucking Christ. Here it goes. It's going to do it again. It's just going to rate my thumbnail again. All right, recreate this thumbnail. These are not exciting. Now let's see what it does here. There you go. Okay, so make link bigger and behind my head. It looks 3D and thrill me. There we go. How about that? Something really ridiculous. Just motherfucker. Now it's going to do it in... Let's cut some of that back down, because somehow or another now it's deciding to do it in portrait mode instead of landscape mode. Jesus Christ. And it's doing it again. All right, well, you know what? We're done with grok for now. Fuck those guys. All right, so we're going to take boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. We've actually got a project over here, which is new projects right there. By the way, if you didn't see my crime thumbnail of me wearing a like mask and all that kind of stuff, it was actually pretty funny. So now we're going to take some of these and we're going to, like, I'm a genius right here. We're going to throw that up right there. We're going to pull that out. Pull out method. And then we're going to do this right here. We're going to make a second copy, and then we're going to do a background removal for the second copy. And it's blurry. Let's see if it cleans up right here. No, I don't like that. That's a little bit too blurry. There we go. There's an obnoxious face right there. All right, so we're going to do that one. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to copy that. We're going to put that back over the top. Right there. Now we've got 2 layers right here and right here. But one of them is like the headshot. And then we're going to put in big letters over here. We're going to use, what big letters are we going to use? We're going to use Anton. And we're going to call it link. And we're going to make it gigantic here. And that's too much. That looks like it's too much. So we're going to move it over so that it's centered. Yeah, I don't like that. All right, so we're going to do this. We're going to do link right there. And then we're going to change it to white. And then we're going to put black around the edge right there. Now we're going to turn this into, I think it might look better as a light blue or a blue of some sort. It does not. It looks like shit. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to go to layers. We're going to remove it and put it back behind me. And now we're going to minimize it so that we can see that it's link right there. And then, that's too simple. That kind of sucks. So then we're going to go to the back layer. We're going to edit the back layer with some adjustment here. We're going to put the vignette. We're going to change the color. Then we're going to change the brightness. We're going to turn it down a little bit so that it highlights more of the front and center. Which, by the way, is some bullshit that they told me that I needed to do because it would be that way. And now we want a... Where can we get a chain link logo? That's what we want to do right now. We want a chain link logo. There we go. And we're going to right click that. We're going to save it as a PNG. And we're done with that. I'm going to flop that back over here. And we're going to upload right there. And then we're going to pop that on screen. Background removal. Now when we do this, it's going to clear the thing in the middle, which we're going to go back into the edit, background removal, and we're going to restore. Take a large one right there, and we're going to restore the white in the center right there because we want that to be there. And then we're done. And now we've got that. And then, because people like it for some reason, we're going to use a giant arrow pointing upwards right there, and we're going to hide that partially behind the body so that it's going up. And now we've got a thumbnail. So now we're going to download that, drop it in, and then save it. And that's the thumbnail. This is the ridiculous shit I do during the course of a day. Boom, 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 boom. And we're going to upload that. And then we're going to set it to daily updates. Not a paid promotion. It is on, done. And we're going to move down here. None of this, boom, boom. I know some of you might not be interested in this, but come on. And if you have any cryptos that you think I should make videos for, put it in the chat. And, you know, let's make some videos. What I'm trying to do, by the way, is I'm trying to tap into other markets and show people, you know, give people reasons to come over here and check it out, you know. And then we're going to schedule that for 4:30 today. And we are now done. Ta-da. All right, there we go. Now back into chat. Why does it invest in meme coin? He prefers proof of stake over fleeting gains. When is Tau going to stop dumping? Derek, I don't know when Tau's going to stop dumping. So it just had its halving. So I would say within 2 weeks to 3 weeks, it's going to do something. Penguin says FDev, DFX, Oni still not mooning. Nothing is. So I don't know. Look, the market is the market. I don't know what this. It's not the projects. The market has been just horrible. What about the Japan rate hike? Won't that cause a crash? Could cause a crash, by the way. But I don't think that it will. I think that most of it's been priced in. I think everybody now expects it, and I think everybody kind of exited. And I think now that everybody expects a crash, I don't think it'll crash. Selmo says Santa's naughty list is a lot like the crypto market, mostly filled with people who got wrecked. Yep. Can I sue Kraken for saying they were going to delist Lunk before a pump? Actually, you know what? I would think so. Get a class action. Coinbase said they are going to do what the dev is supposed to do yesterday. You have no chance. Jesus fucking Christ. Do you know? And I know this. You might not know this because you could be in a group of people who don't think things critically through. But any Coinbase is going to go through the Coinbase exchange. It's not going to go through NASDAQ. So no, it's not. And by the way, I don't need to have a chance to do anything other than run it up to $1 billion or run it up to $500 million. And everybody makes a ton of money off of it. Like, I don't know what people are thinking. Like, this is absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. And by the way, my proof, it's all right here. It's all right here. Do you know how many RWA assets there are? Do you know how many DPIN assets there are? Do you know how many store of value assets there are? Do you know how many privacy things there are? Like, if you're not functioning and thinking clearly, it's okay. You don't have to. But it's weird. It's weird. I mean, look. By your logic, Derek, there should only be one blockchain. But there's Bitcoin, blockchain. There's Ethereum, blockchain. By the way, market cap, 1.7 trillion. Ethereum, 360 billion. BNB, blockchain, $117 billion. XRP, blockchain, $116 billion. Solana, blockchain, $72 billion. Tron, blockchain, $26 billion. Cardano, blockchain, $13 billion. Oh, my bad. I forgot Dogecoin, blockchain, $20 billion. Chainlink, that's not a blockchain. Stellar, $7 billion. Athena, $6 billion. Litecoin, $6 billion. Sui, $5 billion. Why are they in the billions? Shouldn't there only be one? They don't have a chance. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Guys, think clearly. And by the way, if we just walk away and say, well, what about AI? Well, BitTensor, 2.5 billion. Near Protocol, 2 billion. Internet Computer, 1.6 billion. Filecoin, 900 million. Render, 700 million. Story, 600 million. Injective, 500 million. Fetch, 500 million. Virtuals, 466 million. Graph, 400 million. Bat token, 300 million. I mean, guys, there's plenty of money to go around. You don't have to be number one. That's stupid. You just have to be in the game. RWA, Chainlink, 9 billion. Stellar, 7 billion. Avalanche, 5 billion. HBAR, 5 billion. PEX, nope. Sky, 1.4 billion. Ondo, 1.2 billion. Algorand, 1 billion. Quant, 900 million. VeChain, 900 million. XDC, 900 million. Injective, 500 million. All you have to do is buy them low. All you have to do is buy them low. And then, if they pump, if they do something, then you get to say, hey, you know what? I made a few bucks off of it. Ta-da. It's all it takes. It's all it takes. So, if you don't like it, if you don't want it, no problem. You don't have to have it. Don't buy it. Now, for bull market indicators, none of the bull market indicators are hit. TerraCasino.io for all your risk-based gaming. Remember, the Bears are set to play the Green Bay Packers Saturday at 7:20 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you haven't already, put your wagers in before it's too late. Terraport.finance, there's 5 coins that you should have, or 5 tokens that you should have. Terra, WISO, Juris Protocol, Garuda X, and Selenium. Those are the 5 that you should have. If you don't have them, it's okay. Maybe it's not for you. No big deal. But if you are in the Terra Luna Classic community and you want them, those are the ones that you should have. We've already talked about DevvE. Fear and Greed Index is still sitting at 17. That's crazy. I can't believe that it's not at 100 right now, he says out loud. Liquidation chart shows the market starting to surge up here to take out and clip some of these people up in these higher ranges. On the weekly, liquidation looks like there's going to be a surge up into the 92,000 range, because look at that. There is a pocket of liquidity all the way up to 91,000. This glowing red, this glowing yellow area, that's where the money is right now. That's where the market is going to send itself. Okay. I mean, that's, you know, and by the way, blue sucked. Options. That color sucked. Maybe let's do a green one. Yeah, let's do a green one here. Let's try that. That easier to see? Yeah, that's easier to see. A little bit easier. Anyway, so I expect to see probably 91,000 in short order. We'll probably get a little surge up into that range. Doesn't mean it's going to stay there. Doesn't mean that we're reversing. Just means that that's where the pocket of liquidity is. So if you're a betting man, you should be betting on that. As far as the ETFs yesterday, Bitcoin had total, absolute, complete outflows. I'm just kidding. Duh. It had an inflow of 457 million. But you're bearish. Ethereum, outflow of 22 million after 224 million in back-to-back days, which, by the way, if you follow the trends, that means that Ethereum probably going to have some inflows today, because people are starting to look at it saying, oh shit, I should get me some. XRP had massive outflows yesterday. Oh shit, I'm just kidding. It actually had huge inflows of $19 million. Again, no outflow days on XRP. Well, we must be in a bear market. Solana ETF had massive outflows, though. Oh, shit. No, it didn't. In fact, it had $11 million in inflows, one of the better days that it's had in recent memory. So, yeah, the market's dead. It's all over. Oh, by the way, I changed these back to green because I thought the blue, even though I like the blue color, it seemed like the green was a little bit easier for people to read and stuff like that. So, now, as far as the market goes, here's what I think is happening, okay? Bitcoin has not ripped back, and because Bitcoin has not ripped back, this is my estimation, by the way. So I'm not telling you what you should think. I'm not telling you how you should react. I'm saying that it is my belief that the way the market is working right now, Bitcoin needs to rip. It needs to have an explosive move. Otherwise, we're not going to see a big surge, and we're not going to see that altcoin season. Because that's where the capital comes from. While that's going to happen, Ethereum should run, Solana should run, XRP should run. We should see a reversal on maybe Cardano, maybe Chainlink, stuff like that. We're going to see some pockets where you get like nice little reversals here, like ZBEC. After coming all the way down here, ZBEC has started to reverse a little bit, but that's not a huge market cap. Near protocol breaking out, but again, that's second right now or third to Tau. So there are going to be some that are just not going to have these surges. There's going to be some, but Bitcoin needs to run for a rotation into assets. Bitcoin runs, major blockchains run, and then we start to get the altcoin speculation. The altcoin speculation, the early adopters, they're going to go into RWA and they're going to go into AI. Now, AI seems to have cooled off a little bit, but when it seems like it's cooled off, that's when you buy. When you're bearish, like at 235 on Tau right now. When you're at 235 on Tau right now, then that seems like a really good opportunity to make a buy. On the 1 hour chart, dip down to $226, $227. If you bought some in this range right now, then you've DCA'd and you bought yourself a few bucks in profit so far as it started its little bit of a reversal. Now, how far the reversal goes, that remains to be seen. But it's a great opportunity for you to accumulate, by the way, on the long-term time frames. All you have to do is zoom out and look at, well, what should be happening right here. If we just assume the pivot, guess what? Ironically, on Tau, you're at the 786, which means that if you're looking for a bounce, this is the spot for the bounce. So if you have some, then it looks like in short order, remember that rally zone that I gave you not that long ago? I want you to just see where it is right now, okay? Here's the move. Here's the dip. The rally move is to the 236. Guess where the rally move is? Remember I told you there was a rally zone right here? $447. That's exactly where it is on the Fibonacci. So it's playing out to perfection. So the only variable right now appears to be time. It appears to be time. Now, I'm not saying that we're not, look, at this point, it's difficult to say that we're not in some sort of bear market. Like, it's very difficult because it's the structure of the market. The market seems to want to get pressed down. We don't have a catalyst. But I also would say this to you. The reason that we don't have a catalyst is because the people that control the markets, the market makers, they don't want you in yet. They haven't accumulated enough yet. They're going to keep pushing down on the price because they got the gift from God, okay? On October 10, Wintermute scared everybody with their flash crash. Once that was done, the 4-year bros came in and they started selling their Bitcoin. Why? Because they saw Wintermute as a sell signal or a top signal, and that it was time to exit the market and take their profit. So that's what they did. Now the market is dipping, and as the market continues to dip, they're accumulating again. Now, not the 4-year cycle bros. The 4-year cycle bros are sitting on the sideline right now. But here's the thing. They're confident in what's going on, but they're really just kind of sitting back and waiting for all of the data to play out. Today, they just got shocked by the data. That data was that we had a 2.6% inflation where they thought it was going to be over 3%. Guess what? That means, oh shit, the market is starting to price in a correction to the upside. The market is starting to price in positive momentum. That's not what they wanted to see. They wanted to see the markets collapse. They wanted to see the bottoms start to happen. So I'm going to go back to what really, really matters, and that's global money supply. Global money supply is at an all-time high as of today. Let me show you on the chart. Global money supply continues to explode and continues to rip. Now, the fact that Bitcoin has been, up to this point, relatively closely aligned with the way the market cycle was going until Wintermute came in. Well, you know what? It was a little bit before that. But right around that time. Until Wintermute came in, though, and we started to see a little crack in a little bit of a crack in the way things were happening, right? We look at it from this context here and we say, well, these are the moves right there. And we see right there, we had that big spike, and then that's October 10, and that's when Wintermute stepped in, and now we've got this downward momentum. But guess what? The world is still printing more money. So what are we looking for? What is the thing that's keeping us from going? The Clarity Act. The Clarity Act in the United States, establishing guidelines and guardrails for cryptocurrency for big institutions and stuff like that, keeps getting kicked down the road. It won't happen until January, just like DevvE. The federal government, the US government that you invested in with your vote, just kicked the Clarity Act down to January. Well, sell your government, guys. I can't just... Look, if you're exasperated by the market, I am too, okay? I'm the voice out here that's supposed to say stuff to kind of calm you down, or whatever the case may be, all right? I'm just giving you my opinion. And I think that the market is going through a correction. The market has gone through a correction. When I look at it from certain contexts, let's remove money supply. Now let's look at structurally based, what is going on right here. All right, so put that line right there. This is the market for the last 3 years, 2 years, okay? What are you bearish about? Look, if you're bearish because we didn't get an altcoin season, me too. But that's because this market's not done. The last thing that happens, you put this up here. The last thing that happens is a blow off top for an altcoin season. Are you listening to me? The last thing that happens in the market is an altcoin season. It's pretty simple. It's exasperating. It's frustrating. It makes you get shaken out of your positions because you're like, it's not going to happen now. Stop getting shaken out and things will be fine. That's all the time I got. You're going to be fine, all right? You're just going to have a little bit of faith. And by the way, if your faith is in meme coins, it is my estimation that meme coins will have a nice little run. We'll get meme coins at some point. But this is all about Bitcoin. This is all about major altcoins. This is all about utility in this cycle. Meme coins, you'll get significant pumps. You'll get nice days. You'll get the gambling that you're looking for on meme coins. You'll get the gambling that you're looking for on meme coins. Matter of fact, you're probably getting it today, right now, on certain meme coins. But also, they're just launching new meme coins to continue to liquidate you. And you'll make some money off of one, you'll make some money off another, you'll make some money off another, you'll feel like you're a goddamn genius because you keep making a little bit of money off of each one of them, and then you'll put more money in, and guess what? That last one, they're going to extract all your money out of. It's the way that it works. It's the way it's always worked. It's the way it's going to continue to work. And if you continue to allow them to do that, then they're going to continue doing it. The market's pretty simple. So anyway, listen, this is not financial advice, guys. I'm just telling you that meme coins, generally speaking, are not great for you. However, if you bought some meme linked in the last couple days, guess what? It's ridiculous. It's look at this. And it's not a lot, by the way, but look what's happening on meme linked. 263%. If you bought meme linked 2 days ago at the bottom, you're up 250% right now. Will it stay that way? I think it's Pablo buying in. I think what's happening right now is Pablo was doing the same thing with Moon AI. But look at Moon AI. Moon AI was from 137 to 350. It's also up like 250%. So if you're finding the bottom and you're buying the bottom, it's working out for you. You know what I mean? I don't know what to tell you. But you should be looking at altcoins. You should be finding the right altcoins to be holding on to. It's not financial advice. I'm always right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to be a Dev Maxi for a while. So